Good morning. My name is Mike Kim, and I lead APAC partnerships for Google for Entrepreneurs. It is an absolute honor to welcome you here to Google's very first Asia Demo Day. Welcome, everybody. So since we are in China and we're in Shanghai, I thought I'd practice a little bit of Shanghainese. 弄华，我是麦克，欢迎大家来到 Google Asia Demo Day. How was that? Today, we make history together and highlight to the world what we in this room already know. And that is that the future starts here in Asia. My role at Google sends me to cities all across APAC, from Seoul to Jakarta, Singapore to Bangkok, and now here in Shanghai. And I can tell you one thing without a doubt. There is a generation of young Asian entrepreneurs rising. Trailblazers, pioneers, daring to dream of a future yet arrived and willing to sacrifice everything, fighting unimaginable odds to ensure that the next generation is better off. That has always been the power of entrepreneurship, pushing forward a vision that allows all of us as a global community to rise together as one. So today, we have selected what we think are the best startups in Asia. And you're going to hear from 10 amazing startups from 10 different countries. These entrepreneurs have traveled everywhere, not only to be able to talk to you, but they have one common goal, one common theme, and that is impact. Each has a purpose to enrich the lives of others and to leave a long-lasting impact on the global community. And that is the ultimate goal of Google Asia Demo Day, to develop a platform so that the best startups in Asia have the opportunity to shine. And today, you're going to hear from them. Before we begin, I want to talk to you briefly about Google for Entrepreneurs. What's the team behind this? Google for Entrepreneurs has one mission, and that is to take the best of Google resources and share them with the world. There are startup ecosystems everywhere, and our gift and our opportunity is to ensure that we empower the next generation of great entrepreneurs. So how do we do this? We do this in two ways. One is we partner with startup organizations all around the world. Some of them are here with us right now in the front row. Hey, guys. Woo. These partner organizations are tech hubs. They could be co-working spaces, accelerators, incubators, and organizations that support diversity efforts. Number two, we also build physical campuses around the world. Campus Seoul is where I'm based, but we have these campuses in Tel Aviv, London, Madrid. This is a home for entrepreneurs. This is a home for you guys. So what is our impact? What has this team done? Well, so far to date, Google for Entrepreneurs has helped create 44,000 jobs globally and helped raise $5.1 billion for startups. And today, with our four amazing judges, we're going to make that number grow. So, who are the judges? How are we going to evaluate these amazing startups? Let me introduce you to them. Hailing all the way from Singapore and Bangkok and representing Southeast Asia, I'm thrilled to welcome T from Ventura Capital. Hey, T. Woo! All the way from San Francisco and our headquarters, Mountain View, our Vice President of Product Management, Bradley Horowitz. A name that you're all probably quite familiar with, one of the most prominent VCs in China. Super excited to welcome Jenny Lee from GGV Capital. Jenny, welcome. And last but not least, I think you all know him as well, coming from one of the most prominent and well-known VC funds in the world, Sequoia China, the managing director, Qing Sheng. Thank you so much for coming today. So before we begin, we are thrilled to have an incredibly valuable guest with us. We're so excited. The president of Google Greater China is here with us, and we're so excited because he's going to talk a little bit about the power of entrepreneurship and why this matters. Please help me welcome on stage the president of Google Greater China, Scott Beaumont.
Everybody, It's really great to be here, not least actually because Shanghai is my hometown, has been for the last 5 years. And I was really excited when Mike asked me if I could help welcome you all to today's event. So it's my hometown, but also this particular event and the Google for Entrepreneurs effort is also dear to my heart. I'll let you into a secret, and I'm sure several other Googlers would share a similar kind of thought, but you know, my career at Google, which is now nearly 10 years, I definitely see as being a chapter between startups. I think there's something about the entrepreneurial spirit which is intoxicating, right? It's inspiring. And for all of you entrepreneurs in the room, I share my appreciation. You know, there was a time when you and all your founders had an idea and you were the only ones in the world that had it.
Next slide. What is it?
And yet one step at a time, you move forward, you find your customers, you find your funding, you find your team, you build to bring that to fruition. And I'm really excited to see actually the 10 finalists today, to hear about the journeys that they're on and what they're looking to aspire to achieve further on down the road. The second thing I'd say to you after the welcome would be quite a lot of being in a startup is being in the right place at the right time. Now, the ideas that you have, we'll see whether it's the right time. But in terms of the right place, Asia, I think, is the right place. I've been here now 5 years. The energy, the enthusiasm, the positivity, the caliber of computer science, the favorable view of technology, all of these things combine together with an astonishing economic growth story to mean that as entrepreneurs, this is a wonderful place to be. I started my startup actually in London quite a few years ago. And at that time, and this is a secret how long ago it was, Europe was well ahead of the US in terms of the developing mobile technology. But as I got to the end of that journey, it became very clear that actually I'd chosen the wrong place. And actually the US is far more progressive with a much larger domestic market. And here in Asia, we've got a much larger market. The markets are very different. But between China and Indonesia and India and Vietnam and Thailand, we've got so many huge, fantastic growth stories, growth opportunities ahead of us. And so I think you should feel confident that the axis of world entrepreneurship will begin to shift more and more to this region here today. The third thing I would say to you is, please push Google hard. You're here today at an event where we're also holding Google Developer Days. And Google Developer Days is our chance to mingle with all of you and to hear what you need from us. To tell you about the tools that we've developed to help you on your journeys at different stages of life and growth of your ideas and your companies, but also to hear back from you in terms of what better we could do. So don't be shy, right? Please push the teams and let us know how best we can help you. With that, I say thank you, I say welcome. It's a real joy, actually, to host Asia Demo Day here in Shanghai. I'm sure you're going to have a fantastic day, and I look forward, like you, to hearing some of the stories of the entrepreneurs that you're about to hear unfold. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Scott. I think you might have been hearing me in the back. We're just talking about you guys. All right. So today you're going to hear from 10 amazing startups, and like I said, they're from 10 different countries in Asia. So what's the format? Each of these startups get 4 minutes to pitch. After that, our esteemed panel of judges get 3 minutes to grill them. Hopefully give great feedback and answer questions. But we also want to hear from you. So after you hear all the pitches, there's going to be a QR code up here. We want you to scan it, and you can vote on the audience choice, who you think is the best startup in Asia. All right, are you guys ready to get started? Oh, no. Are you guys ready to get started? All right. We begin our journey from Singapore. Please help me welcome Sky Magic.
Hello everyone, I'm Hitomi, co-founder of the Sky Magic. Sky Magic is drone swarm autonomous technology. Do you know how many drones fly in the sky in the near future? Drone is getting common. Industrial drone are planning their way for the commercialized, such as delivery, surveillance, search and rescue, and taxi. The number of the drone will up to 7 million by 2020 in the US market. The drone smart city is becoming a reality soon. However, there is still no effective and systematic solution to integrate hundreds of thousands of drones in the sky. Still manually controlled, no guarantee for the safety. To challenge this situation, SkyMagic built our own technology. I want to show this video, what we've done so far. This is a swarm drone show. Contrast drone is controlled by single terminal and autonomously fly in the sky and make the formation. Each drone knows when they take off, where they go next, and keep distance each other to avoid crashing. This is the swarm and autonomous technology. We built this from the scratch with 4 founders, 3 engineers from aerospace, robotics, and electronics. And I'm from advertisement industry. I wanted to use the sky itself as a new communication platform, so I came up with the idea to use the drone swarm. So this is the beginning of the journey for our technology. Our core tech is a proprietary autopilot system. We can control different type of the drones to achieve the different type of tasks for indoor and an outdoor. We have delivered a drone show across the 8 countries for government-related events such as National Day, and also without any failure, but with multi-million revenue these 2 years. Also, we have to get the permission all the time, but there is no regulation for swarm drones. That's why we work with the civil aviation government, then we make the regulation together and obtain the necessary permission. This is our huge advantage to prove of our robust and safety technology. Now we are ready and pursuing opportunity to use swarm technology for industrial drones. We SkyMagic vision to build the infrastructure platform for air traffic management of the drones. We aim for our technology to become the standard platform. We will design the sky. We can provide path planning, setting up geofencing, deal with the urgent situation, and make sure the safety of the drone traffic. Actually, the drone show is the first step of the designing a sky. So our next step is use this technology for industrial drones operations. We will start outside of the city to take the low risk and step by step use for the urban city. So you will see a lot of drones in the future. Air traffic management will be the foundation of the industrial drones operations. This market will be $2 billion by 2025 in the world. Actually, some companies already done testing, but still pilot phase or simulation phase. But we have actual experience for the swarm drones. That's why I'm here today. We are happy to invite that passionate investor for our first fundraising. We are looking for the $3 million for our accelerating our R&D. We believe that our drone swarm autonomous technology will dramatically drive to build a drone smart city in the near future. Let's join us. Thank you so much.
Oh, well, so I'll get started. Can you talk more about the industrial application? Is there specific industries that you're going after? And from what I understand, for industrial application, you may not need a drone, kind of a swarm drone situation, maybe a smaller drone configuration.
Yep.
So a little bit more about which target industry you're going after, and the traction that you have there. And then the second question there is maybe talk about how what you need to do to integrate with the regulation in terms of on the CAA side as well.
Okay. The first question. So now the most industry drones just is testing with the first one drones. So, but for example, search and rescue, most drones will be more fast and an effective task can achieve. So we are trying to use for those kind of case, like a more collective task. So this is our first step to use. And then secondly, so the regulations, so nobody done before that swarm drones flying in the same time. So we need to make sure that what's the urgent situation, how to deal with like emergency situation, like stop in the same time, and then how to bring back the same place, like return to home. Those kind of like urgent situation, we have to educate the people. Then what we deal with that, we are start with those kind of regulation to talk with the civil aviation first.
I have a question. You
Yes.
estimated the market size at $2 billion. Who is going to pay that? Is that the operators of drones? Is it through white labeling this to government regulators? Like, where does the money flow, and how does it add up to $2 billion?
Yeah. So actually, right now, mostly the NASA is leading this industry right now. So we believe that each country's the civil aviation government need to lead this to build this platform. So I assume the government and country collect the money to encourage this industry.
And in generally, what is the relationship? What kind of conversation do you have with your clients? Because I assume at this point, it's not just deploying the technology, but a lot of it's almost consulting in terms of how much do you really help them understand what technology, how you use the technology to help them?
I think it's first way is to just demonstrate to them. So for example, we just pick the one on industry, like a search and rescue. Then we just done in the just a demonstration first for the specific area. Then show first. Then also they ask us test us what we can do this. Then we build again. Then do the demonstration again. So this is the we do the step by step, and also integrate a lot of knowledge from another industry. Then we combine that knowledge to build or improve our technology. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Fantastic pitch, Atomi. Wow, awesome. I think I know what I want for Christmas now. I need a couple of those drones. Not sure if you heard, but there was a little bit of a storm in Hong Kong, and this next company fought through that to make sure they arrived on stage here. This next company has an incredibly powerful, and I know it's going to help a lot of people. This technology is incredible. Please help me welcome, all the way from Hong Kong, Origami Labs.
My dad has been visually impaired since 13 years old. He inspires me every single day from the way he has dedicated his life to helping others like him. But despite all of his capability, using the smartphone is hard for him because it's a touch-based, screen-based device. At Origami Labs, we create Ori, a ring that turns your hand into a smartphone. But the design process is surprising. What started out as a ring for the visually impaired became something that benefits a much broader audience. Ori is a ring that sends sound as a vibration that passes through your finger directly into your ear, so only you can hear. It picks up your voice with a microphone and receives voice commands through Google Assistant. Now, with our custom software, Ori can make a call, read out a test message, and let you interact with your voice assistant privately. Now, let us show you. Please welcome Emil, one of my co-founders. Now, I want to meet up with Emil, so I'm going to send him a message. Hey man, where are you? Sent. Now, Emil's ring is going to vibrate. He double presses the ring, touches his ear, and now that message is read as a vibration through his finger into his ear. Now, Emil is on the go, so he doesn't have access to his phone. He's going to use Ori to send a message. He presses the ring once, touches his ear, and says,
"Send a WhatsApp to Kevin. I'm on my way."
And now the assistant asks for verbal confirmation, and he says,
Send it.
and now, through the magic of the internet, I've received the message. Thank you. Now, voice assistant technology, it's already here. And with Ori, we can interact with them privately. We already have a granted patent covering bone conduction on the finger, and that allows the most private, clear audio via vibration. Now, our compatriots, they have pushed smart speaker adoption to an astounding 19.7%, but they're stuck. Stuck in a speaker on your kitchen, stuck on the dashboard of your car, or even in your phone. And with Ori, it's convenient, private, and one touch of the ear away. Now, Ori sits between two very promising markets. We're looking at a $1 billion opportunity. And we're already getting started. In just a couple of months, we've sold 3,752 units. And at $50 per ring per month, we also are working with enterprises like Four Seasons, Peninsula Hotel, where they're using Ori as a private team communication device. And we're ready for our global launch with our distributors, SoftBank, T-Mobile, as well as some cool aesthetic crossovers. We're well on our way to our first 100,000 units sold by 2019. But there is a secret feature in Ori that no one knows about until today. Ori gestures. Think about gesture control as a form of communication. Before, when Emil had to send a message, he had to give a verbal confirmation, send it. Now with Ori gestures, he can just, and it's sent. Our team has diverse experience all the way from retail, distribution, manufacturing to R&D. But this brings me back to our technical advisor, my dad. My dad is not just visually impaired, he's a visually impaired software architect, the inventor of the world's first talking computer with Bill Gates in the early 90s. And he's caused us to rethink Ori as more than just a ring for the visually impaired, but a device that helps us all go screen-free. Join us in our current round of funding. We only need another 500,000 to close our Series A. And join the screen-free revolution, because one day with Ori, you too may find your voice. Thank you.
So I want to know how about the competition from the wireless headset?
Yeah,
because-
wireless headsets are typically called hearables, but the usage behavior of a headset is actually very on and off. You don't usually wear even the market's best, like AirPods. You don't wear them all day. So Ori is a true voice wearable that is conveniently on you and private. It's not meant to overtake headsets or replace music use, but it's great for as a platform for voice assistance.
Has the device been delivered to the consumer?
Yes, so we've delivered a couple of thousand units. So far, we don't have a single return so far. And some amazing statistics. For example, we've increased voice assistant use to almost 100% of our users use voice assistant using Ori. So that's by far more than on the smartphone use, which is usually about 5 to 6%.
Do you have specific numbers of the units that's out there? You know, how frequent is the application? Is this something that's becoming, you know, from a user experience, a norm that they're using? Or it's like once a day that are trying this for gimmick?
Yeah, we're still monitoring. So our units have been live for the last 3 months. And then we're looking to monitor that as best as we can. And I think wearables, it's very important to fight churn rate.
Can you speak to the battery life? And another question, can you bling these out and sort of make them shiny and fancy?
Oh, yeah. So we're doing some crossovers with Chanel, Burberry. We've been speaking with Swarovski, and those will be launching next year. I know I sort of glided over that slide. But yes, so we're going to be creating some premium versions. In terms of battery life, we're talking about 1 hour and 45 minutes direct playback, and then 48 hours standby. So pretty good for a day's use, and that's improving day by day.
I think you mentioned it's not really competing with the headsets, but how about versus like watches, for example? I mean, would people really wear both a smartwatch and a smart communication device, and is that at some point become redundant?
Sure, yeah. So I think it is very much a screen-free device. So there is a philosophy behind the product that's very similar to sort of the the beginning of why we created Ori in the first place. So something that connects a lot of our customers is that they want a wearable that keeps them connected, but at the same time is not distracting like a screen. So it does carve out its own space beyond a smartwatch.
Do you think you'll keep the purity of intent that you have today, or are you going to start, you said no screen, but are you going to start packing in sort of fitness applications and galvanic skin response and heart rate tracking, and like, is that part of the plan to put more sensors and functionality into the device, or are you going to keep a purity of intent?
We want to keep the purity and intent if there are no sacrifices on the functionality side. There's a 6-axis accelerometer gyroscope that we just described before, so we have the capability of adding some of these features, but just as long as it doesn't deteriorate the core of what we're trying to achieve. Thank you.
Awesome job. High five. Great job. Awesome. I absolutely love that team. I've gotten to get to know them over the week, and they care so much about the well-being of others. It's truly inspiring. All right, now we travel to Bangkok. Not gonna lie, some of my favorite food in Asia. The next founder is pretty unique. He actually is a comic book fiend, loves comic books, but his company is really impactful. Please help me welcome all the way from Bangkok, Thailand, One Stockholm.
Hello, everyone. My name is Anawat Kimasawat, CEO of OneStockHome.com. Now we're in the age of digital world, a place where you can sell and buy just about anything that you can think of online, except for one particular industry, and that's construction materials. Steel, concrete, pipe, and rebars. Those are foundations of our lives. It's our homes, schools, hospitals, and even the building that we're sitting on today. And despite being one of the biggest industry in the world, and also the foundation of our economy, people are still buying the products the same way they were doing a century ago. The buyers, the contractors, they waste about 50% of their time moving from store to store and into another store. There, they deal with in-person service to get the information from the products, get all the good quality products for their project, and also pricing. And when they purchase, they have to return to the store again to get the product claim. It's highly inefficient. So let me introduce you to OneStockHome.com. We're the #1 online resource for building materials in Thailand. And our solution is simple. We transform the complex process into a very simple online solution. And this is how. 1, we aggregate and curate all the right suppliers for our customers to serve them nationwide. 2, we become the central information so that our customers can find all the product use information and also pricing in one platform. And 3, when they buy, they purchase in bulk, bundle, and also get the product suggestions so they will get all the products that they need to complete their project. With this process, they can save 40% of the time that they've lost at the storefronts. And we never stop thinking about our customers. We keep improving ourselves, and every month we've been able to provide them with new features, content, services that are relevant, and that's why we become the #1 and most visited website for construction materials industry today. And our business model has been well received. We reached $10 million as of yesterday this year. And what's exciting, our growth is accelerating up to 89%, and we are profitable. And who we are to our partners, the suppliers, we're more than the catalog managers. We share with them the information that they've never been able to capture before with our online platform. And together, we serve our customers better. And for our future plan, with the $1.5 million investment secure, we are ready to scale. In 2019, we will tackle Indonesia market. And in 2020, That's when we are ready to tackle the whole Southeast Asia. And we are the team to do this. The co-founders are well connected to the industry. We leverage 40 years of experience from our family business to make our business today very sustainable. Our team has a strong experience in tech, data, and construction. And now with the support from our corporate suppliers, corporate partners, we're growing even much stronger. We're onestockholm.com, the future for construction materials today. So let's join us and change the industry and make it the foundation of the world that we all deserve today. Thank you.
Can you comment on the revenue stream? Like, who are you charging? What's the take rate? I assume the revenue, that's net revenue, or is
Yes.
that GMV?
Basically, it's the sales revenue, and we take from selling the products and also from the logistics. It averages from 3 to 10%, depending on the products.
So your net revenue is 3 to 10% of the GMV that you're doing.
Overall, last year we made 2.6, but this year we improved to 4.6 already.
4.6%.
Yep, average.
And can you also comment about the number of contractors that you have in terms of basket size, contract size, and the frequency of buy?
Okay, so basically the customers who are buying, they purchase the average size of $3,000 US, and on average, our customers come back and then buy from us 3 times in 1 quarter.
What kind of margin is your supplier making when they basically transaction? Yeah.
Our suppliers, when they sell to us?
No, just in general. I just want to see, when they basically mark it up on your platform, what kind of margin is actually they're earning?
So this is the beauty of our business. When we started, we actually deal with the manufacturers. So from the first day, we get the best price from them, and we actually got the first-hand pricing from the factory. So basically, we're the ones who make the margins and then set up the price on our platform.
But what margin are the manufacturers then making? Do you know?
That I still don't have the information, but I can get back to you after the presentation. Yeah.
Do you provide the supply chain service or outsource it?
Currently, when we serve our customers, we outsource. So when we deliver the products to our customers, we drop ship. So we have no inventory. And for our logistics, we make partner with the 50 companies. So we can deliver actually within 24 hours if the products are available. And we can also serve our neighboring countries as well, such as Cambodia, Myanmar, and also Laos.
The name of the company is One Stockholm. What percentage of this is residential building versus commercial building? And for commercial builders, large builders, do they already have existing relationships with suppliers that means they don't need you in the same way?
That's actually a very good question. The people who are buying from us, usually they're mid-sized contractors. So their revenue each year is no more than $3 million US. And when they buy from us, it's all in cash. So basically, they pay before they get the products. And what we serve them is that we get the very competitive price as well as the timeline. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Great job. Awesome. Great job. Well, you guys are asking some tough questions. All I know is that when it's time for me to build a home, I think I'm going to get a discount, but I'm not sure you guys are. Awesome. So I had the great privilege just a couple months ago to visit Sydney, Australia. It is one of the most burgeoning ecosystems in Asia. And I can tell you right now, if you're in Seoul, where I'm based, in the summer, and it's 40 degrees, you want to go to Sydney. A fun fact, I'm not just buttering you guys up. The next founder, when you ask her what her favorite food is, she says Chinese food. All the way from Sydney, Australia, please help me welcome the CEO of Freight Exchange.
Did you know that 1 in 3 trucks on the road globally is empty?
And there are literally millions of empty containers on the sea right now. That's a crazy waste, right? And that's because anyone who works in the shipping industry knows that it is very complex to move goods together. You have millions of manufacturers. You've got tens of millions of transport companies, big ports, small corporations, big corporations, and they are all trying to communicate, share information to get goods moving. One of our first customers, corporate customers, is in the construction industry, and they have 10,000 employees, thousands of their own private vehicles, and they even have dozens of their own transport companies. Nobody knew where their goods were, and nobody knew how much it was costing them. They introduced freight exchange into this company, and in a very short period of time, we were able to reduce their freight costs by 40%. So freight exchange is going to take this multi-trillion-dollar industry, it's complex, it's manual, and turn it into something that's automated, intelligent, and seamless. The freight and logistics industries are inherently networked. It's how it works. And so we are 100% focused on making sure that every party in a supply chain is connected and communicating simply. Our award-winning platform helps shippers. It helps them to save money. But more importantly, on the transport side, by maximising their capacity, for logistics companies, we have been able to take 25% of their trailers off the road, saving our environment. What Alibaba and JD and Amazon Logistics have done for e-commerce, for consumers like you, we are doing for businesses in the construction industry, in manufacturing. Our platform connects shippers, carriers, Internet of Things, financial systems. And now we're using AI to identify risk. Which shipments are going to get damaged? Which ones are going to get caught in customs? To make communications seamless and automated and human. And also to automate pricing. We charge transaction fees and subscription fees for corporates. And for trust and transparency, we also sell insurance. We've shipped for thousands of customers, and we've been growing in double digits month on month since 2016. And our value proposition is so compelling that we have attracted some incredible partners to our business. CIMC is the world's largest container company. They're investors, and they are also connecting us to the shipping lines globally. Singapore Customs saw the same problem that we did, and they're incentivizing corporates to use freight exchange. And we have recently signed local and global sales partnerships with Telstra and Microsoft. We ship for small businesses, medium businesses, and Fortune 500 companies. And it is $1 trillion business. We have a proven solution. We have an incredible pipeline of business. So now we really have to hire up fast to capitalize on the incredible opportunity that we have before us. And today we're here to invite investors and team members to join us on the journey to transform global freight. Thank you.
Can you talk about the data back end? Like, where are you getting the data to allow, the system to work? That's one. And then two, can you also talk about your go-to-market strategy? How many, shippers or how many customers do you have right now? And I think to throw it, why Australia? Is Australia the right place to do this? Or is there, another area or country where you can be at the hub of the interconnection?
I'll answer the last one first. I think Australia has been an incredible place for us to build and experiment with this product, but Southeast Asia is growing significantly, and that is absolutely the market for us to be in. We've recently opened an office in Singapore, and we're partnering with Chinese companies to make sure that we have that Chinese connection. Our go-to-market strategy is, so we have sales partnerships, as I've explained. For smaller companies, we also have a digital marketing strategy. And the third question, which was the first one, the number of customers. So to date, we've shipped for nearly, the slides are 5,500 customers. And we this year have started our corporate offering, which is onboarding Fortune 500 companies through our sales partnerships.
Can you just talk a little bit about the AI application, whether it is, you said, identifying, like items that could be flagged by custom, and then part of it, it seems like you're still developing kind of that portion of the technology as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the other questions that we had was, how do we do in the back end? What do we do in the back end to make sure that connectivity? So we've been building out API integrations, email, all sorts of integrations with IoT, with major transport GPS. We'll be building out the container tracking integrations. That's all of our data, our source data, which means that we can instantly book transportation at the right price and consolidate correctly. The AI applications are numerous. So the first one is to make sure that we can rapidly build more and more integrations. Then the most important thing is operations automation, making really human-centered interfaces so that people can still communicate via email, but we can scale. Operationally, risk is a big problem in transportation. So making sure that we understand that we're matching the right carrier with the right shipment at all times is essential. The consolidation piece is also essential for taking vehicles off the roads, making sure containers are full.
Sorry, just finally, can you just tell a bit of the team, because I don't think
Sure.
address it on a pitch.
So I'm the CEO and founder. My background is in big data and analytics or data science. So I've spent my whole career doing that for numerous industries. My co-founder has built logistics automation platforms for the major airlines, and we have a team in Sydney and also in Manila. Great, thank you so much.
Awesome job, Kate. Great job. All right, I think this is probably the moment you guys have been waiting for. The hometown favorite is up next. This is an incredibly powerful technology you're about to see. And so, coming all the way, not too far, from Shanghai and Hong Kong, please help me welcome the CEO of Miotech.
A lot of familiar faces. We're Miotech. We represent China. Come on, guys. We represent China. My name is Jason Tu. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Miotech. Let me just open up by saying that data is overwhelming. We live in an age of information, where access to credible and insightful information can make or break businesses, even more so in financial services. So let's take a look at how overwhelming financial data could be. Right now, in Miotech's financial database, we have, let me correct it a little bit, right now we have 175 million company profiles. We have 1.5 million online narratives, including news, commentaries, social media, in real time coming into our database. We have around 500K financial instruments and 5 million individual profiles. There's just simply no way for an average financial analyst to process this information and find the best opportunities. So, we have been developing technologies to deliver insights. That's what Miotech does. We bring insights to you. In order to do that, we have developed a lot of proprietary technologies. We have developed our own NLP library and database that processes financial languages better, especially here in Asia. We have spent the past 2 years building our knowledge graph that connects all the connect all sorts of information together. And each time you query our graph database, we traverse the whole graph and get you the most relevant information. And you know what? Your query feeds back into our system. We learn it so that we have a better way to understand the financial language. All these technologies combine into two awesome products, Amy and PortX. So that out of myriads of information, we get you the most relevant that can help you make the best decisions. So now let's take a quick look at our product demo. You can traverse our graph. This is a front-end representation of our whole graph database. We are a very heavy user of TensorFlow. We can reduce multi-dimensional data and project it onto a two-dimensional space, thanks to TensorFlow. So that you can quickly identify trends, leaders, in this case, Google, in artificial intelligence. What's behind this awesome product is an awesome team. Not to mention our awesome profiles. We're a group of dreamers and rock stars. And what we have achieved so far, we've been around for 2 years. We've grown from 4 rock stars now to 40. We're present in Shanghai, Hong Kong, Singapore. Our clients combined manage 200 billion US assets. And we have raised $8 million US from Zhenfang and Horizons Ventures so far. We're officially launching Amy today. Any questions? Ask me, ask Amy. Thank you. Brad.
So I have a question on who is exactly your customer and how is it sold? Is it like a Bloomberg terminal on steroids and your customer are traders and financial analysts within major organizations? And do you sell per seat or what does the model look like?
Cool. Any Bloomberg guys here? Yes? All right, don't tell your boss, but we want to be the Bloomberg killer into the future. So right now we sell to, first of all, banks, especially in equity research, global markets or financial markets. We sell to brokers, prop trading desks, or wealth managers who use our technology to serve their clients. And also some other asset managers such as mutual funds and hedge funds. We sell per login, so per terminal model. Anyone interested? Talk to us. We'll let you know the pricing. Thanks.
So can you talk about your data source as well? It sounds like you're only targeting public companies. How much of the data is just public company? Where are you getting the source? And then do you include other kind of private information?
We cover
as well?
both public and primary markets. We have 3 types of different data sources. We do have collaboration with some of the large data source providers, for example, like S&P Global, like Crunchbase, like in China, we have connected to all major exchanges with all their financials data, price, and volume data. On the other hand, we have built up our proprietary databases. So we have deployed, a lot of people call robots, but let me just put it in layman words, crawlers everywhere that we think the information is important. So we crawl the entire internet that we think can gather the most important piece of information for you. And the third source will actually get social media and some other source of data. So we have VC customers as well. If you're interested, we can open our trial account for you guys.
And it is a product, I think, as Bradley said, either web-based, terminal-based, or is it also API into other platform?
We're a SaaS platform, so you can sign up. It's all delivered through the web.
Okay, but you can't, let's say, just API the data into, let's say, if you have a proprietary data in-house, you still basically have to go through your actual interactive
Yes,
platform.
so that's a very good question. Right now, Amy processes all the data sets sits in our server. It belongs to us. That's precisely the next step of our product development. A lot of our customers raised exactly the same question or request. I think that's the direction we're going to go. We're going to allow our users to upload their data, either through an Excel spreadsheet or through API data feed or SFTP, so that we can analyze your data as well. Thank you. Vote for China team.
Great job. Awesome. Well, friends, we're actually halfway through. What do you guys think about these startups? Yeah? Fantastic. So actually, one of our most recent partnerships for Google for Entrepreneurs was just launched in India. We partnered with an organization called 91 Springboard, which is one of the largest co-working operations in the country. If you want to talk about growth and rapid growth, India is one of the most special, unique startup ecosystems I've ever seen. The next CEO you're about to hear from is actually a lot of fun. I just asked him what a fun fact about him is, and he says he hates public speaking. So he's here to conquer his fear and tell you about his incredible company. Please help me welcome the CEO, all the way from Bangalore, India, CEO of Sigtuple. Welcome.
Around the world today, we find that large sections of the population are suffering from very common disease conditions like anemia, malaria, and diabetes. However, there's an unmet demand for timely, effective, and scalable health diagnostic solutions. Compounding the problem are factors like the inaccessibility, unaffordability, and inaccuracy of healthcare delivery. We at Sigtuple combine the power of robotics, data, and artificial intelligence to create smart diagnostic solutions. Automate high-volume screening tests, which today require visual analysis to be done by a medical expert. We are working on blood, urine, and semen in pathology, and retinal scans in ophthalmology. Let me just walk you through how a blood test is done in the labs today to understand the impact of our solutions. At a remote collection center, a phlebotomist draws the blood sample, which is then shipped to a main lab for processing. An expensive medical device, which uses proprietary chemicals, then analyzes the sample, and if there's a flag, there's a further tedious manual microscopy process which follows. The entire workflow is totally unscalable. With the smart pathology paradigm powered by Sigtuple, we place our device AI100 in the remote collection center. The sample is pushed into the device, which digitizes it and uploads the images and videos to our cloud for processing. A host of AI models analyze them, and an in-depth report is made available to a pathologist sitting anywhere in the world on any internet-connected device. Apart from making the entire workflow accessible, affordable, and accurate, we also introduce much-needed transparency into it, because all our reports have exact images of the cells that we've classified. The reviewing pathologist can even correct our findings in the report before releasing it out. We plan to scale our technology by having our device AI100, our cloud AI platform, as well as our reporting interface handle different kinds of biosamples for different diagnostic tests. What we are doing is really crucial, and hence we have done around 9 clinical trials to validate the efficacy of our solutions. We've also filed 19 patents along the journey. We have a business model for hospitals and labs who are using our solutions based on their volume and their size. In the short period that we've been in the market, we've analyzed more than 3,000 samples. But what's really amazing is that less than 0.1% of our findings were actually corrected by reviewing pathologists. Doing something this critical and this difficult requires a strong cross-functional team across various disciplines, and we are happy to say that we have such a team. We were founded just 3 years back, and we've raised around 25 million from some of the biggest names in the Indian VC ecosystem. We also have deep connects with a lot of medical as well as academic institutions for R&D collaborations. From humble beginnings, we've come a long way. Our first solution is out in the market, and the next 2 are expected by the end of this year. In the coming months and years, we plan to move from our solutions outside India to other geographies, as well as move them from hospitals and labs today to our doctors' clinics tomorrow, probably even our homes in the near future. Thank you.
In China, promotion among hospitals is a difficult and a long process.
Yes.
So I think maybe same in Indian market. So
Yes.
Can you share us more detail about your promotion in Indian market? And
Yes.
if you go global, so how to deal with this problem?
So in India, all our solutions we are building, we have around 23 partnerships already existing, and all our solutions we build with hospitals and labs from the day one, right? So whenever we are talking to, we have a strong board of advisors who help us make connects with the hospital administration groups, which actually take the decision on whether to buy such a solution or not. In labs, it is much more simpler because they're dealing with these volumes every day, and they can quickly understand the effectiveness and the importance of such solutions and how it will impact their both their top line and the bottom line.
Can you talk a little bit more about how the device, or what you guys are doing, how is that different from the current mode of testing and the economic model around this as well?
Right. So today medical devices are really monolithic. So they do a very specific function and they do it well. Our device is able to handle today blood, urine, and semen tests, which the current model is to have 3 different devices for in the lab. Right? So this is what we're going to extend to more pathology tests over time, and this becomes a scalable model for us to deploy with all our partners. One more thing which is very crucial is that because it's a cloud-driven analysis, you can add more and more features to existing reports without changing anything on the hardware side. So today I'm giving you a basic blood report. Tomorrow I can start detecting malaria, and nothing changes in any of the processes in the lab. But the report which the pathologist reviews starts getting the malaria flag from our models, right? So that's again a very scalable way of approaching the same problem. Price difference is, we are like 1/3 of the price of the existing devices, and they use a lot of chemical reagents as a regular consumable for every test which are done. In our device, there's no consumables used. And our most popular model is where we give the device for free. So you're actually just paying for the analysis which is happening, which is like 1/10 the cost of the reagents which is being used in the industry today for the same test.
It sounds like part of your solution is to have a army of pathologists and clinicians that are sort of like the Mechanical Turk or Uber of pathologists. Can you speak to your relationship with them, how they get compensated, how you do quality control? Do you rate them, and the better ones get more work? And
so that's actually that was the more challenging part for us than the AI part, right? So this panel of pathologists that work with us are essentially during the training part of our AI models, right? So there's something called an inter-observer variability in medicine. So what we've seen over the last 3 years is that if you show the same image to 5 different pathologists, they might not agree on their classification. And what's more interesting is that if you show the same image to the same pathologist over a 3-week period, they might change their call as well. So it becomes really important for us to track every label, every annotation which goes into training. We need to make sure that it's not going in from a single pathologist, but there's a panel which is looking at it, and they arrive at a consensus for every data point which goes into training of our models. So our effort has been in building this ecosystem. We have around 30 to 35 consultants working with us on a part-time basis just for this specific activity. And we've built an automated system around this where we can track their annotations, do the consensus, and then include the new labeled and annotated data into training. Thank you.
I didn't see any fear there. I thought, we had Obama out here. You can mentor him. All right. Now we're moving on to a really cool technology. During our application process, we actually had a lot of robotics company, but this one really this really shined. You know, I think in the future we're going to see a lot more of this technology, not just in Asia, but globally. And so here to talk about an incredibly fascinating robotics company, we have the CEO of Gitai from Tokyo, Japan. Please help me welcome Gitai.
Hello everyone, I'm Sho from Gitai. Space market is growing rapidly. A lot of companies are building commercial space stations now. However, people's transportation to space and work in space is really expensive and unsafe. The cost of astronauts is $50,000 per hour. Gitai replaces people's transportation to space and work in space with remote-controlled humanoid robot like Avatar. This is our Avatar robot, and he is an operator, and they are synchronized via standard wireless network. And this is his site. He is looking from the side of robot. Gitai's Avatar robot is remotely controlled by humans with VR head-mount display, motion capture suits, and haptic globe, enabling an operator to see, hear, feel, interact freely in a remote environment in real time via standard wireless networks. To realize Avatar robot for space development, we have 4 kinds of technological strengths. One is data reduction and compression. Network in space is really limited. So Gitai successfully minimized, especially visual data, 2.7K visual data, high-resolution visual data, from 800 megabps to just 2.5 megabps. The third is low-latency communication. It's very important for an operator to control with robot in real time. So Gitai successfully minimized software data latency to just 0.1 second. The third is workload reduction. There is no high-performance PC in space because of space radiation. But our entire software can run on low-spec PC. The final is not traversal systems. So an operator can log in and log out from anywhere to everywhere via standard wireless networks. Now we proceed technological experiments with our partners such as space organization and big companies in space industries and US startups. This is our team. Our team consists of specialists such as serial entrepreneur, PhD robotics engineer, computer vision and haptics engineer. We already raised $1.38 million last year. And now, we want to raise $10 million as next round of funding. Why don't we send our Avatar robot to space stations together? Please join us. Thank you.
The constraints of space forced you to create some incredible technology, low latency and probably low power consumption, and really optimizing the technology. But it seems like there would be other markets. For instance, you could send a tele-autonomous robot into Fukushima and other hostile environments, or there's been robotic surgery robots like Intuitive Surgical. Are you focusing on space, or do you think about these other markets where this sort of high-performance technology would apply?
Now we focus on space industry because from the side of cost performance, space industry is vast industry about from the point of transportation of human resources. The most high cost to transport human resources is what space industry. That's why we focus on space industry. However, we hope to expand our business to other industries on ground in the future. However, to build avatar robot is really expensive, still expensive. So we have to make business. So that we started from the space industry.
So I think it's a very interesting market. It's going to take a while to realize. Can you talk about how much the 10 million is going to take you? Does it take you to first product launch or just to first prototype? You mentioned cost, maybe talk about cost. And then thirdly, do you have an existing customer, maybe in Japan, in terms of working with them on your first launch?
Now we are really early phase. We just proceed research and development and get patent. So now we focus on software, and because there are a lot of technological bottleneck about software to realize this. So now we focus on research and development and just proceed technological experiments with the companies and the space agencies in space industries. So now we started to talk the private space companies in US, but not get mission yet. So that is our next challenge, I think. Thank you so much.
Great tag, Gitai. Nice job. All right, I'm going to make kind of a bold claim. The next place we're going right now is actually Seoul, South Korea, where I'm from. And I'm just going to say it right now. The best barbecue in Asia and the world is there. And if you want to challenge me on it, come anytime. All right, so I think there's something that's somewhat universal, HR. Whether you're in EMEA, America, or even here, whether your company is like Google or you're just starting out, HR issues are HR issues. And we think this is one of the best HR solutions in the world. Please help me welcome all the way from Seoul, South Korea, the CEO of SwingV.
Morning, everyone. This is Jin, co-founder and CEO of SwingV. Today, I'm so excited to show you an extremely scalable and profitable business. Among 180 million companies around the world today, about 96% are small and middle-sized companies. But while big companies have the resources to invest in ERP software, these SMEs are stuck in the past, relying on paper, spreadsheet, and manual HR practices. Due to this huge problem and also big opportunity here, there are new HR tech startups in the US which are disrupting the HR market with a huge investment from the leading VCs. But the thing we need to realize is, in the US, there are only 5 million SMEs. Surprisingly enough, the largest SME market in the world is Southeast Asia. In Southeast Asia, there are 70 million SMEs, which is 14 times bigger than US SME market. But more importantly, in Southeast Asia, there's no advanced HR software yet. In other words, there's no market leader in the largest market in the world. So here is SwingV. SwingV offers a cloud and mobile-based HR platform to help SMEs to be more effective and efficient. With SwingV, employees can check all the details of their HR status, and CEO and HR managers can view and access an employee's HR file, time off schedule, and KPI management at any time, anywhere. So SwingV saves time, reduces administrative chores, and is way easier to use. Then how much we're going to charge? Well, it's free. Everything you saw will be absolutely free. We employ a freemium business model, so we're going to earn money not from our HR software, but from additional services, such as payroll and employee benefit. And we charge 10 Singapore dollars per employee per month in our payroll system, and we sell medical insurance for employee benefit. We compare two companies. One follows traditional practice, the other relies on SwingV. And we found out the company which relies on SwingV could save 80% of their annual costs. This is where we want to be. This is where we want to be. Since we launched our service, now more than 3,000 companies and 70,000 users from Singapore and Malaysia registered and are now actively using our service. In order to grow faster, we're going to expand our market into two directions: geographical market expansion to the rest of Southeast Asia countries and Taiwan, and segmental market expansion from SME to mid-market. Now we project 5,000 companies by the end of this year. And going forward, 10,000 by the end of next year. And 30,000 by the end of 2020. When we consider our current conversion rates and the average number of employees per company, our revenue in 2020 will be more than $20 million. The key point of our business is all about how fast we can scale. And we are excited to say we already signed up a partnership with Telekom Malaysia and major insurance providers. To achieve our goal and vision, we assembled a team to build great HR platform. Headquartered in Singapore, our team has a deep experience in B2B sales, software industry, and HR industry. Now we are raising $7 million for team building, marketing, and market expansion. Ladies and gentlemen, our vision is to transform and revolutionize HR practices for small and medium-sized companies. Swingvi will be the dominant HR platform in Southeast Asia. Thank you very much.
What is your acquisition strategy right now, just to get to, I guess, 3,500 companies? And then what is also your retention?
Yeah, we focus on two parts for customer acquisition. First is we prefer our organic growth, and since our sweet spot is SME, we are targeting SME. So we do our own marketing, not only display ad, but also our own events. And then the other part is when we launch to new market, we focus on distribution partnership. That's why since we launched our product in 2016, we started a distribution partnership with Telekom Malaysia, and our distribution partner, they make a package for SME, including Swingvi for HR, Dropbox, and also MS 365. So once we get some amount of level, the number of customer, then we focus on our organic growth. And sorry, what was the second question?
Just what does retention look like?
Yeah. Currently, our churn rate for paying customer is 1.4%. I think that's quite common thing. The good thing of payroll and employee benefit platform is once they onboard, it's quite difficult to switch because of year-end form and all these statutory files. So low churn rate is one thing that we are quite proud of. Yeah. Thank you.
For the small businesses,
Yes.
how are they executing payroll right now? Is it a bespoke solution and very manual, or is there a dominant player that you're replacing?
Yeah. There are a few options to run payroll for SMEs. First thing is if they have like 5 people, they can run payroll with Excel file or visiting government websites. But the thing is, when customer have more than 20 employees, then pain points started. Like employer, they cannot run those payroll 20 times every month running Excel file. And they need to update payroll file every month. So we found out the average number of our employees per company is more than 20 employees. So we found out when SME have more than 20 employees, then employer, they need to spend 2 to 3 days every month on payroll or other statutory file. So that's why they start to looking for those payroll system. And the other option is using and relying on legacy payroll system. The problem of legacy payroll system is there's no integration with HR software. So every month when they want to run payroll, they need to update leave information, time off information, and our other HR stuff to run payroll. So that's why we solve that part.
Singapore and Malaysia market is relatively open. So I understand
Yes.
ADP is there, I understand Zenefix is there as well. Can you talk about, compared to these other companies, where is your specific selling point for you to kind of get into the door?
Yeah. We have 2 competitors. One is legacy HR or payroll software, or the other is there are new HR tech startups. The difference between new HR tech startup and us is they provide payroll software, so it's a SaaS for payroll service. The problem is they can reduce the cost a little bit compared to legacy payroll software. But we found out the decision making of our customer is not only about cost saving, but how they can reduce this administrative task. So without gathering all this HR information, like every month's time off information or timesheet, then when they run payroll, whether it's cloud or on-premise, they need to update every month. So it's the same job. Or the other is they need to rely on payroll agents, which cost more than 7 times than payroll system. So that's why we provide free HR software, and the more they use, they will find the bigger benefit of automation. Right. Thank you very much.
Great job, Swingby. All right, here we go. Well, we're nearing the end. We only have 2 more pitches. And before I introduce the next company, I just wanted to get a raise of hands. How many people here like beef? Just raise your hand if you like beef. Yeah? All of you are ruining the planet. All of you are ruining the planet. Just kidding. I love beef too. But we've got to be more sustainable because we love it so much. This is an incredible company coming from Jakarta, Indonesia. They actually came out of one of our own other partners that are representing here today from Manada Kibar. Super excited to help welcome the CEO of Dicodex. Please help me welcome them on board.
All right, amazing crowd. Thanks for having me. I'm Andre of Dicodex. We are here to change cattle farming. So cattle sector affecting the food security of 1.3 billion people worldwide. 12 years from now, there'll be 8.5 billion people. Unless we all become vegetarian, we need to produce 400 million tons of meat from 1.8 billion cattle. That's huge demand, huge pressure on cattle farming. Even having existed for 10,000 years, cattle farming still has problems. So, for example, a farmer have to visit hundreds of cows every day just to check whether the cow's still moving or not. It's ridiculous. You know? And another, you know that when cows stop feeding for 3 days, they die. How the farmers get notified? And our Ministry of Agriculture, Indonesia, they say that the best technology that they deployed so far is just RFID ear tag, just for ID, right? So we think that we can solve that with a better technology, right? So I'm proudly introduce you to Smartena, an Internet of Things and AI precision livestock farming solution. So the system work is that pocket-sized device, something like this, contain 15 sensors, more than 15 sensors. You goes around the neck, something like this. So it tracks the movement, the location, the body and environmental parameters. And using deep learning with TensorFlow, we are able to predict the behavior, feeding, ruminating in heat, for example, and also the whereabouts and the well-being of the cattle. And those data are exchanged with our Smartena cloud via base station that can cover 1,000 devices within 5 kilometers coverage. So farmers can manage the farms anywhere in the world using apps. Okay, and this is the cattle wearable device, Fitbit or Apple Watch for cattle, if you will, but it's not as expensive as that. The patent pending enclosure, electronics, and also industrial design are done by us, in-house 100%, by Indonesian. This is the app. So whether you just want to track cattle's whereabouts, counting herd, or you want to focus on health, Smartena has it all. So, of course, there's other players, but Smartena focus on more feature with more affordable price. Customers love it. Pak Rahmat is managed to reduce the potential death of non-feeding cow by over 90%. We sell the device and subscription, and holy cow, 16 million cows in Indonesia alone, you know. 10% will grab that value about more than $16 million. So we deployed 100, currently working on 1,000, and 10,000 coming way. We have the fund right now, but we need to scale up. We need to raise another funding. So we'll return the investment 7 times over 5 years. Meet the company, DiCoreX. About me, I'm physicist, 20 years of experience in software and hardware. I have 47 full-timers, 2 PhD, ex-Microsoft, Huawei, and amazing advisors. We have partners, local and global, Ministry of Agriculture and Communication Informatics, and also global partners. So join us to improve cattle farming and feed the world along the way. Thanks.
Can you talk about the cost of deployment? Is that a one-time payment upfront versus followed by monthly revenue? And how is that cost of deployment, compared to the revenue structure of the farmers, for example? How affordable is this for them?
Right. Thanks for the question. Great question. Like I said, that we sell the device and also the subscription, monthly subscription per cow. So the device is $99, right? So if we compare the cow pricing, is about 5,000, more than 5,000 actually, per cow. So it's less than, 5% maybe. And just that, it scale up with the number of cows that you have. But the device is reusable, right? So because the lifetime of cows within a farm, for example, the fattening farm, within 4 to 6 months. So they rotate the cows, they sell it, and then they can reuse it. But we still can have sustainable revenue of monthly subscription that we have. So with the monthly subscription, the farmer doesn't have to do anything. They just use it, right? So I think that would be beneficial for both parties.
Continuing along those lines, is the main ROI for the farmer around loss prevention? Is it to detect sick cows and intervene to save them? And if so, do you have data yet on sort of what is the ROI for farmers? Like that this makes it X% less likely to have cow loss and things like that. Have you quantified that?
Yeah, we are still new in that. But what we focus is the efficiency of operations and also the prevent loss, right? Because, for example, in my country, there are many cases that when there's a theft because cows is running free in the wild. It's a funny story that one pack of cows just missing overnight in an island in Sumbawa. I think that things can prevent loss, right? So if you like I said, a cow, they sell it between $5,000 to $10,000 per cow. So when you lose the whole pack, I don't know how much that you lost. And also, like I said, also to improve the efficiency, because the farmer can increase the number of cows without adding more people. Because like what we do in Ministry of Agriculture facility, that it's hard to add more people. Civil servant is hard to add more people. So they can just add more cow without adding more resources, more staffs.
And I just want to confirm, in the short term, you have no plan to enter the new industry, right?
Pardon?
In the short term, do you have the plan enter some new industry? Besides that, yeah.
Yeah, my company has...
Security, yeah, I see your BP.
Yeah, my company is developing a few products, actually, beside this. But this is our flagship products. So around asset tracking, power management, industrial IoT kind of things. But this is our flagship product. So this will be our long-term product development along the way. Right? Thank you so much.
Great job, DiCoreX. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. High five. Awesome. Guys, we are on our last and final pitch. What have you guys thought so far about the companies? Yeah? Awesome. I see Ching Sheng writing a check. That's great. Fantastic. The name is Michael Kim. All right. As we head into the last pitch, just wanted to give you a heads up. Hope you guys have been taking notes on your favorite, because once the final pitch is over, we're going to let you guys have a 10-minute break, and then we're going to come back and announce the two winners, audience choice and the judges' choice. All right, now we head into the final one. I think one of the things that we care about most, actually there's probably nothing more important than healthcare. When we have loved ones, family, and friends, we just want to make sure that they're okay while eating beef. So today, we have, with our final pitch, a company that when we saw their video really touched our hearts. All the way from Pakistan, please help me welcome the CEO of Marham.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Asma, and I am the co-founder of Marham. I'll begin by sharing a very tragic story. A few years back, Ehsan, who is the CEO and co-founder of Marham, had seen a very sad situation. His father was ill because he was mistreated by an incompetent doctor. He tried to rectify it by going from doctor to doctor, but it was too late. Sadly, he lost his father. My other co-founder, Farwa, her father was suffering from cancer, but she couldn't find the right treatment he deserved at the right time. And can you believe this happened to 500,000 people in Pakistan every year? They just die because they couldn't find right healthcare information in time. And this is not because the doctors or healthcare professionals are not available. It is because that there is no medium for patients to access this information in a quick, reliable manner. So we built Marham. Marham in Urdu means cure for the pain. We are empowering patients with an authentic platform to find, ask, book, or consult doctors online. They can find all kinds of healthcare information regarding healthcare experts at Marham. They can book appointments instantly with their nearest accessible doctor. Or even better, they can get authentic medical advice via audio or video consultation from anywhere, anytime. And in the last 2 years, we have served more than 5 million patients. Marham is accessible via website, mobile application, and a call center helpline for both literate and illiterate audience of Pakistan. We have 12,000 plus doctors on board, and we have done more than 500,000 consultations last year. And we have generated a revenue of $230,000 USD in 1 year. Our business model is very simple and a proven business model. Doctors pay us a certain percentage when they get a consultation from Marham. But the healthcare opportunity in Pakistan is huge. We have just reached 0.25%, but we have a lot more to do considering the opportunity of 200 million people. Also, our telemedicine platform is being accessed from all over the world because medical advice at Marham is comparably more affordable. Our revenue growth we are looking for in next year is around $1.5 million USD. We will reach to 12 million people in next year, and we aim to reach 20 million people by 2020. We have achieved our break-even, but we are looking for a fund of $1 million to scale quickly and reach out to patients who need us. For now, we have literally everything to grow big, from a well-tested platform, unique industry knowledge, great network of doctors, and a reliable team. We aim to use this money from digital marketing to human resource and other important things. And this was not possible with these amazing guys who always believed in the mission of Marham. We are 3 co-founders with a background of tech, business, and user experience, and our own stories made us more committed to this mission for a lifetime. We know there are a lot of problems in healthcare sector, and we will contribute as much as we can to save human lives. Thank you very much.
When you said you reach 5 million patients, but then the consultation is about 500,000,
Yes.
so how do you characterize that? So the 5 million is people who have registered or have they requested a consultation?
Initially, in the first year, we were not doing the consultation. We just gathered the information and made it accessible to the people. So these were the people who visited our platform and took the information. Then last year, we have set up our online booking and the call center through which people are now started taking the appointments. And then few months back, we have started the video consultations thing to make it even more accessible for them. So this is how we are growing in the consultation part. But online appointment booking and consultations is our focus.
Can you elaborate a little bit on the doctor side? So you mentioned you have 12,000 doctors online. Are these doctors, how do you qualify them? And in this case, on the consultation, is this on chronic disease? So is there a recurring component there where the patient wants to keep track, and keep talking to the same doctor? Or is this more targeting, the usual small illnesses and things like that?
Okay, so this is a very great question. The first thing is that how we onboard a doctor is like we have, run an ambassador drive first, and we collected the data of all the kind of medical specialists for all kind of specialities in Pakistan. We have verified all the doctors and collected the information from PMDC and added them on our website. Number two, doctors apply themselves to make them accessible for their patients. Because in Pakistan, there are almost more than 200,000 doctors, but only 35% are known. People don't know if there is a certain doctor available near to them. So they get accessible at Marham, and they themselves register here. Also, in the category of a follow-up or complete treatment, yes, the patient can maintain the history. The history of whole patient is maintained. We have an EMR system through which patients can, doctor record the whole healthcare information. Patient can have access to it, even for audio consultation, video consultation, or for in-person visit. So the whole thing is interconnected.
What percentage of your patients are from outside of the metropolitan areas, so outside of Karachi or Islamabad, for example?
More than 60%. More than 60%, because they don't have healthcare access, good quality healthcare in their own area, so they just get to know about us through a word of mouth, give us a call, and then get complete information before visiting a city for the treatment. So more than 60%.
Also talk about how you price each consultation, how much you take versus what goes to the doctor.
Okay, so how we take 30% from each consultation. So if a doctor has a fee of $20 USD, we take the 30% from that fee. And it is the same for almost in-person consultations and video consultations. We have made video consultations even more affordable because we are setting up online clinics. Like for example, if a patient is suffering from psychology, but he can't go to see a psychologist, he will get a consultation, a psychological session via video call from his phone on a very affordable price. So this is how, and doctors very much, cooperate with us in this matter of payment recovery or either the fee structure.
Is it time-based or it's just fixed time, fixed fee?
The video consultation is time-based, that if you have a 20 minutes, or for a psychology session, it will be around 45 minutes. But in-person consultation, the timing is decided by the doctor. When a doctor registers themselves at Marham, they tell that I will give 20 minutes to patient, or I will give 40 minutes to patient, and then it will be categorized according to that in the system. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Powerful, powerful. Thank you. Well, that concludes the pitch session of Asia Demo Day. What's going to happen now is we're going to have our judges head to the deliberation room for about 10 minutes, but I hope you guys have one thing in your mind. There has never been a better time to build a company in Asia. So we're going to take a 10-minute break, but before we do, I want to bring up every single one of the startup founders on stage to give them a huge another round of applause. Come on up here, guys. Come on, guys, a little louder here. They're a little shy. Come on, get them out here. Woo! There we go, all right. Sky Magic Origami Labs, come on out here. All right, great job, guys. Line up right here. Awesome. Come on over. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2018 batch of Google Asia Demo Day. Woo! right. So don't go too far. It's going to be a very, very fast 10 minutes. The judges are going to head to the deliberation room, and make sure we're going to have the QR code here. Scan this code and make sure you vote for the audience favorite. We're going to come back in 10 minutes, so we'll see you in a little bit. Thank you so much, everybody.